Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X, on this rainy, grey, overcast United Kingdom Tuesday morning. For my first video after recovering from the Christmas cold/flu of 2023. It's not going to be a tutorial, really, or anything, but I did want to show you something that you may or you may not know. If you're new to the game, you certainly won't know it, so let's jump out of my little habitats bed here. It's a bit sparse. Over time, I'll probably add some decoration using the cosmetic blocks to give it some more life. But what I wanted to do, first of all, is to make sure I'm running in creative mode tools and invulnerable from the RBY button to bring up the admin screen, because what I don't want to do is mess about with this too long. I want to find a patch of untouched or unmarked resource ground. Here, this one will do. Come down here. We'll activate our drill and we'll look about some silver. So from this point here where the silver is, we can look and we can see not much else. We'll have to run around a bit, but there is a way we can do this. We can basically take the antenna on our suit linked with a larger antenna, a few armor blocks, a few batteries, and a large grid ore detector, and build a little prospecting platform. So we grab a light armor block and we'll grab 1, 2 there. We'll make it 3 wide. In fact, we'll just make it a 3 by 3. And if you pull these blocks out and there's a slight discrepancy in terms of how they're aligned to the ground, remember you can hold down the LB and RT to change the alignment of it. So if your blocks are ever misaligned, just tap that until they align to the ground. So now I'm going to pop down a large grid antenna. Don't need a landing gear, thank you. Going to grab, just for now, I'll see the panel on those, so hold on, let's just move those out. There we go, it's better. 3 batteries, and if you're building a rig like this, in survival, you'll probably need to either use solar panels or just build a small wind turbine tower. So the last thing we need is a large grid ore detector. And if you're wondering where they are all found regularly, well, if you look under comms and hangars, you'll find your antenna. I think I've gone past it. So back this way, under wheels and weapons, you'll find the ore detector. Now we've got this, you'll see straight away we've got some cobalt and some silver. If you look where I'm looking, well, we knew the silver was there, but we didn't know about the cobalt. So that's really good. And we could take the ore detector and we can boost its range, and we can boost the antenna. However, the higher the power draw on both the antenna and anything else on this grid, you're going to need more power to power it. So we've got silver, we've got cobalt in this area. pretty cool. And the reason that I wanted to put creative mode tools on is so we can take hold of this and we can cut this grid for purposes of this little video. So I'm not going to make it too long until I get back into things over the weekend next week, or rather next weekend. I'm still recovering from this Christmas cold. I'm not fully recovered. I wanted to do a short little video today to get back into the swing of things and to kick things off, because we have a spaceship that we're going to go and look outside our Earth-like planet with on the next proper part of this video, and see what's out there, and maybe establish some form of headquarters on an asteroid, or if we're lucky, find a massive ice asteroid and build a headquarters / fuel station on there. So that'll be something that I'm looking forward to. Anyway, rather than build this whole thing over again, since we're in creative mode tools for the purposes of this demonstration, we're just going to paste the grid. And the grid can sometimes appear like this. So if you want to fix the fact that you can't put it down properly, if you hold down the left bumper and just tap up and down on the D-pad, you can move it about. You can rotate it, and you can also change its rotation by holding down on the left bumper still and tapping left. You'll get it to orientate how you want. You want it like, I've put those batteries on upside down, but it doesn't matter. It all works. Ideally, when you put things down, you'll want the circle at the top of the keypad. And now look, we've got silicon, we've got ice, we've got magnesium, all sitting there within range. And we'd have a good ferret about and look and see what there is, without having to constantly worry about running around with the drill. So if you've got a few resource points like this and you want to get the best out of the area, just make up something like this. Now, if you do this in survival and you're messing about with, say, batteries, remember with batteries, if you grind a battery down, the one thing that won't grind down with them are the power cells. It will destroy the power cells and turn them into scrap metal. You will have to rebuild any power cells from a battery. So if you're going to build something, bear in mind that it's going to have to be semi-permanent, or you're going to need a little transport ship to move it about. There is one other way you could do it. Of course, you could take this whole thing, build a cockpit, a gyro, some wheels, and so on, turn it into a rover. You could take it and just put a few atmospheric thrusters on it and turn it into a flying prospecting platform, rather like our little flying prospecting ship. Except this one, you would be literally landing, locking landing gear, and prospecting on the spot, rather than having to rebuild it constantly and do what I'm doing here. So we go again. We'll take one more look up, get a bit more height until we can see these grey patches against here. And we'll come along here as well. There we go. One last place to pop our prospector. of course, the beauty of having a mobile prospector would be that you could easily set a grid light. This one down. There we go. Another source of cobalt, iron, and nickel. Well within a stone's throw of our actual HQ, if you look. Got a lot of resources on the doorstep. So that's absolutely great for making a headquarters and for making things like this large prospecting platform a reality, because, of course, cobalt is needed for metal grids. And they are needed to make the big and little thrusters that you'd need to move this thing around. And if you wanted to make it permanent and you wanted to recharge those batteries, well, all you'd need to do is just bring out your light armor blocks. And since I'm building in creative mode tools now, I can just drag out a line, pull it as far away from the base as possible, take it up 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 blocks or whatever. Bring your tower down one block. Anybody who's ever watched any of my videos is going to know this is one of my favourite things that I learned about the game from a great channel and from a great Space Engineers player, Kanajashi, who was one of the first people alongside me to actually bother to focus and do something with the Xbox, which I'm eternally grateful. So there we go. We've now got our Tower of Power. And we're running in. Like this. And our wind turbines are generating 451.21 kilowatts with optimal wind clearance, which is what you want. And this antenna is sucking down 200 kilowatts. And there you go. That is your little prospecting platform you can use to find resources in an area a lot quicker than running around with your little hand drill trying to find something and maybe missing the cobalt because the cobalt might be below your hand drill's ability to detect, because the earlier hand drills have less detection range. There you go. That's all I'm going to do for today. Thank you very much for watching this. Thank you for the continued support, the likes, the subscribes. As promised, myself and Paul will release the ATST or the AT-AT and any further versions of it when I hit the magical 2K, which is not far off, to be honest. So if you haven't subscribed and you'd like to, then feel free. If not, then that's okay as well. Just enjoy the video, pick up what you want from it, go through the channel, look at the other videos. I have plenty of hints, tips, tricks, all sorts of things here for the Xbox version of Space Engineers. And as we await Grid AI, hopefully early this year, we will be able to go through even more content and look at more things. Until then, though, we'll take my little Space Engineer back to base and we will look at the next particular video in this series as our launch of the rebuilt or modified, recharged and refueled, thanks to this fuel station here, clunky, chunky Escape Rocket Scout, which can comfortably leave and return without using too much fuel. It might not look good, but it does the job. Until then, though, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. Loads more to come from me, from Keen Software House, and from everybody else who produces Space Engineers content. There's a wealth of it out there. Enjoy it all. Have fun with the game. Bye for now.